Racing on Saturday takes place out at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, a doubleheader on the local front, racing alongside Turfentine. But 8 races to look forward to out in the Western Cape, and it is racing on the summer course with race number 1 set to get underway at 12:40, and that will begin the bipod. We've got the Summer Country Championship finals that run on the day. It is 5 of those from 1,000 meters up to 1,800 meters, and those are going to be interesting races where they race for increased stakes. And let's see how it all unfolds. Joining me on the line is Graham Hawkins. And Graham, how are you doing?
I'm all good, thank you, Rahil. Yeah, we're looking forward to an interesting and competitive day's racing. As you've mentioned, the Summer Country finals over those distances from 1,000 to 1,800 meters. And in each of those races, several runners with winning chances. If you get it right, I think you'll be handsomely rewarded. And let's hope we can steer them in the right direction.
Let's get straight into it. Race number 1 on the program, maiden plate, 1,200 meters the distance. Number 1, Tripping Thunder, tops the boards here at 3-1. It is Glenn Cotton and Chad Little teaming up with the son of Trip. He ran second last time out. You've got number 2, Chasing the Rainbow at 5-1. He showed big improvement last time out. Number 5, Emo Kelly at 6-1. It's an 8-1 and better bar those. Now, this form line behind Circumbendibus is seen to the 4 here with a number of these horses. It's 4 horses that come from the form line, but this horse, Tripping Thunder, is the best of them, having finished second.
Yes, Rahil, as you mentioned, Tripping Thunder ran second, a close second behind Circumbendibus. He was only caught very late. He went very quickly from an inside stall and nearly made all. Chasing the Rainbow was third. I'm a Kelly was fourth. So as you've mentioned, this form line comes under scrutiny here. And there's no reason to believe that Tripping Thunder can't do the business here, jumping out of stall gate 1. If he's ridden the same way, shows the same amount of pace. That last run was his first with blinkers. The blinkers stay on, so blinkers have certainly turned him around, and he's shown a lot of speed in the last start. So I'm looking for Tripping Thunder to confirm the form with numbers 2, Chasing the Rainbow, and 5, Imo Kelly. But if that form line doesn't stand up, then there are a few others that could get into the fray. 9, District Master is one of the big outsiders in the race, but it's interesting. He's having his first run as a gelding. 10, Wave of Glory. Fluffed his lines last time out. Could go better here. His best run was indeed over 1,200 meters when he ran second in his penultimate start behind Heel and Soul. And interestingly, Chasing the Rainbow was further back. Admittedly, Chasing the Rainbow was making its debut that day. And then there's number 12, Give Me a Thrill. 2 fair first runs, not seen to good advantage when beaten 7 lengths by Cork Bay, but he also makes his first appearance as a gelding. His last start was on the 16th of November. He was gelded on the 5th of December, but it is a bit of a worry that no jockey has been declared for the Brett and James Crawford runner, which kind of suggests that Louis Kotwa does believe that number 5, Imo Kelly, is the better one, and if that's a better one, then we seem to be able to rely on the Circumbendibus form. So I'm going to play a quartet in the first race. I'm going to bank a number 1, Tripping Thunder, to win it with 6 runners, 2, 5, 9, 10, 12 and 13, throwing in a couple of roughies just in case there's a bit of an upset in the minor placings to boost that quartet dividend. So banker 1 to beat, then going with numbers 2, 5, 9, 10, 12 and 13 to run second, third and fourth, and hoping that Tripping Thunder on a competitive today's racing will get us on the front foot.
Nope, that is race number 1. Number 1, Tripping Thunder, the top choice. Moving along to race number 2 next up, and the second race will be the start of the place accumulator. 1:15 is the off time. This is a class 3 over 1,600 meters, and your favorite is number 5, Future Turn, 15-10. Number 8, Hat's Pride, 28-10. Number 7, Rule of Thumb, is at 5-1. It's an 8-1 and better bar those. Now, Future Turn found 1 to good last time out in the form of Prometer. He was clear second best that day behind Prometer. And Graham, in this race, 1,600 meters seems to be the right distance for him. He should certainly have his supporters, but this horse number 3, Inamorare, at 12-1 in the market, there could be some value about the son of Master of My Fate, because he's definitely a lot better than his last start.
Definitely better than the last run. He might have needed that quite badly. It was his first run of 2025. He's nicely drawn. We know that Inamarari is capable on his best form. So, yes, he's the long shot in the race, but he's one of 4 runners in the lineup from the Justin Snaith team. They do have the favourite 5 Future Turn, who have made a place accumulator banker. Reminder, it's an 8-race card, so race 2 is the first leg of the place accumulator. Race 1, which we've already discussed, was the first leg of the bipot. I'm happy that Future Turn should run into the first 3. His form suggests that his only poor run in recent times was over 2,000 metres when he didn't stay, but it has been 595 days since Future Turn won a race. He's proving very costly to follow, and a horse like Inamarari could certainly pop up. There's not much to choose on the evidence of their last run between numbers 5 Future Turn and 8 Hans Pride. They ran 2nd and 3rd behind Prometer, and there was only a neck between them. And Hans Pride has been showing indications of coming back to form. A horse like Rule of Thumb, you can never really rule out. Late Declaration, the cheek pieces go on solar power. And then you've picked out Inamarari. I've picked out number 2 for Loperki as one that could upset the apple cart. I do believe he's better over this trip. His last 2 runs have been over 1,800 metres and 2,000 metres. In his penultimate start of 1,800, he wasn't disgraced behind Navy Strength. He fluffed his lines over 2,000 metres. But reverting back to 1,600 metres from a good draw, I think we're going to see an improved run from number 2 for Loperki. He has, in fact, won over the distance, and I think he's going to appreciate the step in trips. So I think by default, for me, number 5 Future Turn, despite the fact that he's been without a win for 595 days, is the top selection, and sets up as a nice roving banker, because you should get a nice honest run out of him, and as I say, a place accumulator banker. But it's not a cut and dried affair. There are others with chances. It is, after all, a handicap class 3 over 1,600 metres. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hats Bride, Rule of Thumb, Inamarari, or Fualurpiki was to overturn Future Turn.
That's race number 2. Number 5, Future Turn, going to be a banker in leg 1 of that PA, but race where you could get a bit of a result here with the likes of numbers 2 and 3 both offering some good value. Race number 3, start off the pick 6. This is the Summer Country Championship 1600 final. 1350 is the off time. Number 1, Rich Folks Hoax at 3-1. He cracks a draw, which is going to be a huge advantage. Number 3, Okavango, 4-1. Number 4, Iconic Destination, is at 9-2 in the market. 9-2, number 7, Cabana Lasedi, it's then 6-1. And better ball those. Now, Graham, just having a look at this race, I think that these 2 horses should be good enough, numbers 1 and 4. Number 1, with the draw on his side, I mean, last time out, when you have a look at his run, he came from a mile back to finish 4th. And then this horse, Iconic Destination, always had the ability, showed a lot of potential as a young horse, and was off for a very long time, but has found his form again.
Yeah, he was off for throat surgery. As you say, right early in his career, he ran 2nd to the King, 2nd to Charles Dickens. He was rated 96 early in his career, all the way down to an 81. And he's come back strong off a long rest. He was off the track for 18 months, and he's had 3 starts since then, the last 2 of which he's run 2nd, including on Met Day when he ran 2nd to Legal Counsel, prior to that 2nd to Major Master. Those were both over 1,400. He steps up to 1,600 metres. That should not pose a problem for him. And so number 4, Iconic Destination, definitely one for the shortlist, and quite attractively priced at 5-1. Now, you've mentioned number 1, Rich Folks Hoax, and he ran behind Kevin Lasedi, and there should, at the weights, Kevin Lasedi should have his measure again. But as you've mentioned, then Rich Folks Hoax was drawn 12 out of 12. He now cracks pole position, and Kevin Lasedi, on that occasion was in pole position, is now drawn in gate 7. I think the race will map out that Kevin Lasedi will probably go to the front. Grant Finnick, it's interesting, he's only ever ridden this horse once for a win. That was last time. It was also the first time he ever was put on a horse by Eric Sands, so they'll be looking to try and maintain that unbeaten record. So I do still like number 7, Kevin Lasedi, a little bit, along with numbers 1, Rich Folks Hoax, and number 4, Iconic Destination. I think those are the top 3. I know that Okavango is quite short in the market, but I'd like to see him confirm the improvement. Yes, Cosmic Rhythm did come out and win a very weak race after Okavango absolutely annihilated him by more than 4 lengths. But this is a step up for Akavanga, and he's been given quite a steep merit rating, so he's got 60.5 to shoulder. And then, of course, there's the consistent number 9, Master of Paris, a nice trifecta stroke quartet horse. So for me, it's all about numbers 1, 4, and 7. As you've mentioned, I'm not going to write off Cabernet Lasedi, but obviously Rich Folks Oaks will have every chance from a better draw of overturning that. But of course, Iconic Destination might just be too good for them both.
Yep, that is race number 3. Quite a nice race to get the pick 6 underway. Moving along to race number 4 next up, and race 4 will be the start of Jackpot 1. This is a Summer Country Championship 1800 final. 25 past 2 is the off time. Favourite here, number 3, Quite a King, and number 9, Groove Jet, both at 28 to 10. Number 5, La Pulga, is at 11 to 2. Number 8, To the Moon and Back, at 6 to 1. It's then 7 to 1 and better bar those. Now, it is Team Snake that top the boards here. And Graham, do you have a preference between the two Snake horses, 3 and 9?
Very, very close, but the market movers, 3 Quite a King on some platforms was priced up as much as 9 to 2 earlier in the week. That's, as you've mentioned, has all been snapped up. So the early money coming for number 3 Quite a King. There shouldn't be too much to choose between Quite a King and stable companion number 9 Groove Jet on the evidence of their last run. Groove Jet, of course, is improving and seems to be maturing. He's certainly not put a foot wrong in his last 6 runs. He's won 3 of his last 5, including his last 2 back-to-back. And the other market move in the race, and I thought they priced him up wrong, 8 To the Moon and Back was priced up initially at 12 to 1. That's been snapped up because on a number of form lines, in receipt of 7 kilograms from Groove Jet, number 8 To the Moon and Back has got a realistic chance of winning this under Grant van Niekerk. So those are the top 3 in my mind, along with number 5 La Pulga, who interests me. He steps up to 1,800 meters for the first time. That Kebel and Asedi form line will come under scrutiny in the prior race. And I'm certainly not going to write off number 5, La Pulga. I think he certainly comes into the race with an above-average chance. So Justin Snaith does have pocket aces here with numbers 3, Quite a King, and 9, Groove Jet. The early money for number 3, Quite a King. Not much to choose at the weights. 8 To the Moon and Back is certainly handicapped with a big chance on best form. And the joke in the pack could be number 5, La Pulga. Candice Bass Robinson has always spoken quite highly of the 3-year-old son of Pomodoro. He's lightly raised his relatively unexposed tool. You can expect further improvement, and he might just improve even more over the extra 200 meters of this 1,800 meter contest. I've narrowed it down to those 4. I mean, obviously others have chances. Green Isle is the best weighted, and on a best 1,800 meter form, she kind of has a chance, but maybe the Colts and Geldings here will be too strong for her.
Yep, that is race number 4. Tricky contest, and let's see how it all unfolds. But there could be some value there with number 8 To the Moon and Back, 8 to 1 into 6 to 1. Race number 5 next up. This is the start of Jackpot 2, 3 o'clock, the off time Summer Country Championship 1400 final, and number 11 Swiatek is the favorite at 5 to 2. Number 3 Family Power 33 to 10. Number 12 Water Fortune at 5 to 1. 13 to 2 about number 4 Golden Angel. It's then 10 to 1 and better bar those. You can scratch number 2 Industrial Strength. Graham, race number 5, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, well, obviously this morning Industrial Strength was an important scratching. He's a colt against the fillies in this 1400 final, but that's all academic now. So it's a rematch between Family Power and Swiatek, and it's a rematch between Golden Angel and Swiatek, 2 different form lines. If you go back to the 4th of December, Family Power beat Swiatek by 3 parts of a length, and at the weights should have the measure again of number 11, Swiatek. And then last time out behind All the Boys I've Loved, Swiatek was 2nd and Golden Angel was 3rd, and there was less than a half a length between those 2. So those are the 3 that interest me the most in this race. I think the winner should certainly come from one of that trio. I'm in the camp of number 3, Family Power. I think Family Power will go well and is worth a nibble at its current odds. I think it's, I know the betting will change now that number 2 Industrial Strength has come out, but I do believe that Family Power can confirm the form with Swiatek, but particularly as Family Power is the better drawn of the pair. And Golden Angel, I think there's something about this filly. I think she's got above average ability, and I think she's starting to come back to form, and I think she'll make her presence felt. Is there potential for an upset? Well, of course there is, and it could come from number 1, Paratrooper, who steps up to 1,400 meters out of pole position. There have been so many whispers about Paratrooper in recent runs. Go back 3 runs, backed in from 5-1 to 7-2. Penultimate start backed in from 9-2 to 3-1. There have been those ongoing whispers about number 1, Paratrooper, but he's continued to disappoint. But could he suddenly improve over 1,400 meters? He could, and he might be the source of an upset if there is indeed to be an upset. But I'm going to rely on the fillies. 3 Family Power, 11 Swire Tech, and 4 Golden Angel.
Yep, that is race number 5 of 1,400 meters. Race number 6 next up, 15:35, the off-time Summer Country Championship 1,000 final, and the 6th race favourite is number 4, Unbel D at 5-2. 11-2 about number 2, All About Al. 11-2 number 7, Barney McGrew. Number 3, Bluff on Bluff at 6-1. 7-1 about 8, Rafa Bay. It's then 8-1. And better ball those. Now, Unbaldi, he is a favourite here. Fair run last time out, but he's got a big weight to shoulder of 62.5, having to concede weight all round here. This horse, Barney McGrew, I thought it was a gutsy win from him last time out to beat Rafa Bay. He's gone up to 4 points, but with that win under the belt, Graham, this is the type of horse that I think can follow up.
He's obviously going to be competitive. He's not in my top 3. He's in fact my 4th choice. But that being said, we've got 3 very hard-knocking older horses here in the form of All About Al, Bluff on Bluff, and Barney McGrew, and any of the 3 could come out on top. Barney McGrew, of course, last time out was winning for the 6th time of his career. He beat Rafa Bay. Just how strong that form line is going to turn out to be, Rafa Bay reopposes here, and I'd like to see Rafa Bay confirm that improvement. The only victory that Rafa Bay has posted was in a moderate work riders race when beating the very limited Flying Finley. So just how strong that form line is going to work out remains to be seen. It's open to debate. So of the older horses, I'm more in the camp of number 2, All About Al, and number 3, Bluff on Bluff, who's been good to me. He's won twice in his last 3 starts, and both times he's been on his back. And Ashton Harry seems to get a good tune out of him as well. So Bluff on Bluff is my marginal first choice. Ahead of All About Al, there's never been much to choose between them. I could be persuaded to make number 7, Barney McGrew, my 3rd choice, because I don't quite know what to make of the 3-year-old Ernbell D. He's also returned from a throat operation. He's had the 2 starts after a 7-month layoff. They've both been pretty decent. 3rd over 1,000 behind Tanango, and then close up on Mete behind Golden Destiny. But as you've said, I know the 3-year-olds are getting older. We're halfway through the season. But still, one-time winning 3-year-old, carrying 62.5 against these hard-knocking handicappers, yeah, I think he faces a tough test. So, for me, it's all about the older horses to be included. Numbers 2, All About L, 3, Bluff and Bluff, and 7, Barney McGrew that you've picked out. I'm not ignoring number 4, Belty. I'm going to throw him into the mix. He'd look pretty silly if he were to come out and win it. But I do think he faces a real tough test. And I'm not sure that he deserves to be as short in the market as he is.
Yeah, Unbaldi currently at 5-2, but there's certainly quite a bit of value to be had elsewhere in race number 6. Race number 7, penultimate race on the card, 4:10 is the off-time Summer Country Championship 1,200 final. Favourite here, number 5, Tough Terrain, and number 9, Golden Destiny, both at 7-2. Number 3, Elsinore is at 4-1. Number 7, Captain's Destiny at 6-1, along with number 12, Suti. It's in 7-1 and better ball those. Now, this horse, Golden Destiny, was a winner on Met Day, and what a performance from him. He's always shown the ability, and he was, I know Dean Canamere thought quite a bit of him when he stepped out on debut, beaten behind one stripe, and Grammy is taking a bit of time to find his feet, but after his last win I was encouraged by it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to back here.
No, you wouldn't be surprised if Golden Destiny, as you said, he's always had a little bit of a reputation about him, and there was lots to like about his win. He came from out absolutely the clouds, from near the back of the field to win going away on Met Day. And if he repeats that kind of performance, then he's going to be a tough nut to crack here. I'm going to stick my neck gut, I'm going speculatively with number 7, Captain's Destiny, another filly that's been good to me at a big price previously. She's holding her form really well. She's had her best over track and trip. And the fact that she's only got 53 on her back is receiving 7.5 from Golden Destiny, receiving 9.5 from Tough Terrain. That persuades me that number 7, Captain's Destiny, that's where the value lies. I stuck my neck out and made her a place accumulator banker. So I think she will give us a very, very good run for our money. 11 Prince of Tibet, lightly weighted, and number 12 Suti are worth a mention. I'm going to sit on the fence with number 3 Elsinore. So now my top 3 choices would be 7 Captain's Destiny, 9 Golden Destiny. Maybe it's our destiny to go the exact route there. Tough Terrain in third spot. That would be my top 3, 7, 9, 5, with 11 getting the vote for 4th position. But it's not easy to turn them 1, 2, 3, 4. So for me, Captain's Destiny represents very good each way value. She's my place accumulator banker. I might be regretting the decision after the running of the 7th race, but she's holding her form nicely. I think at the weight she's got a bright chance, and she could also fit the bill as a trifecta in quartet floating bankers. So I'm in the camp of number 7, Captain's Destiny. At the weights, I think she'll go very well.
Yep, that is number 7 at 6-1 in the market, and let's see how number 9 Golden Destiny does go. And as you heard from Graham, could well be the exacta to player race number 7. That's number 7 and 9. Race 8, final race on the day, 1200 meters, class 3, 16:45 is the off time. Favorite here is number 11 Tenango, 5-2 into 18-10. Number 8 Arctic Wizard is at 33-10. 7-1 about number 6 Rosh Kadesh Dumbledore. It's then 8-1 and better ball those. Now Graham, this horse Tenango is a horse that we've read quite right whenever he's won, and I thought it was a good fluent performance last time out when beating the Abdicator. He's a horse that's gone up to 6 points for that victory. 1200 meters now shouldn't be a concern given his running style, but what's interesting is that he's been the distance 3 times prior and it's been 3 blanks.
That is a bit of a worry, but you have to think that number 11, Tenango, has now matured. He's in a very good space, as you said. He's a winner of 2 of his last 3 starts, but he does have 61 to shoulder. I'm not sure that this race is as easy as it looks at first glance. I'm not saying that Tenango won't win. As you say, he's been very good to us. I do think this is one of the tougher races on the card, particularly if Tenango doesn't get home over the 1200. There isn't a reason to believe that he shouldn't. He was such an impressive winner over 1100 meters, 3 runs back. And as I say, since being gelded, he seems to have settled down. He seems to have overcome whatever niggles he might have had, and he seems to have matured into a really decent sort. So for many, Tenango will be a solid bet in this race. But something in my gut says don't trust it too much. Don't put all your eggs into one basket. But once you start looking around, then there are many with chances. I've been a Nordic Chief fan for a long time. The blinkers, that's a late declaration. The blinkers go back on. I didn't like his last run without the blinkers. He just didn't seem to get into the race. He's drawn on the inside of the track, which is probably still the more favoured place to be. So I'm expecting a better run from number 3 Nordic Chief. Rosh Kadesh possibly a little on the sharp side. You can't fault the form of number 8 Arctic Wizard. He just continues to hold his form well, and 2 wins and a second in his last 3 starts. So he'll certainly give Tenango something to think about. Then an interesting runner is number 9 Captain West. Second runners are gelding. They've tried him over further. He might relish coming back to 1200 meters. He's always shown a lot of speed, and the stable like him. He could improve this trip, and at 10-1, I won't be leaving number 9 Captain West out of any of my selections. 10 Dumbledore, what you see is what you get. Is a very decent, honest performer. He's been in good form. A very good second behind Kai Boy last time out. That was back in December on a softish track. And then a complete lunatic selection. Number 2, Surge of Power, is plummeting down the ratings. I'm not suggesting he's going to win, but if you're looking to boost those trifecta and quartet dividends, with 52.5 on his back, he's down another 5 pounds. He's been 103 not too long ago, down to an 87, 52.5, drawn on the right side of the track. You could see a sudden improvement from Surge of Power, sufficient improvement at least to get into the top 4. Oliver, game consistent, but I've always been of the view that although he's won over 1200 meters, He is better over 1,400 meters, but he's such a game campaigner, you can never ignore him. So it is all about Tenango. Is he the real deal? Is he going to move on from here? He's gone up in the ratings. He's gone up another 6 pounds since his last win. He's now on a 98. Is he going to make light of the 61? Arctic Wizard stands out as the obvious threat. Watch out for better performances from Captain West and perhaps Surge of Power. Obviously, I might be reading this race completely wrong. Maybe Tenango is one of the better bets in the card, but I'm going to play it slightly differently.
Nope, that is race number 8. It's either number 11 Tenango, or you could get a bit of a result here in the 8th race over 1,200 meters. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now, and Graham will take us through his suggested bet for racing on Saturday out in the Western Cape, and it is an 8-race program. So Graham, take it away.
8-race program, place accumulator, starts race 2 off at 1:15. Bankering number 5, Future Turn. He should at least get us through the first leg by finishing first, second, or third. Still searching for his next career win. The second leg going numbers 1, 4, and 7, Rich Folks Hoax, Iconic Destination, and Kebona Lasedi. Then 3, 5, and 9, Quite a King, La Pulga, and Groove Jet. Then 2, 3, and 11. Now, obviously, my perm was submitted before the scratching this morning of Industrial Strength. So 2 is Industrial Strength, 3 Family Power, and 11 Swire Tech. So you take out number 2 and add in number 4 Golden Angel, or just let it run, and if the tote favorite comes in, double up. Then 2, 3, and 4, all about Al Bluff on Bluff and Earn Bell D. You like Barney McGrew, I wouldn't put you off adding that in there. Then Banker, number 7 Captain's Destiny, going out on a bit of a limp because I could have banked it to Nango in the last, but I'm looking for a bit of a result in the last, which only the race will show whether I'm lost the plot completely. But I'm in Captain's Destiny in the penultimate leg, banker number 7. Last leg numbers 8, 9, and 11. Arctic Wizard, Captain West, who I suspect will run a better race, and 11 Tenango.
That is place accumulator, and it all begins with the running of race number 2. Graham, thanks very much. All the best with racing on Saturday, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Rahil, and the same to you.
All the best with the racing out in the Western Cape.